What's going on, guys? DJ here for my daily installment of my video blog. If you're watching, hey, I appreciate it. So today we're going to talk a little bit of the NHL. We're right at the midpoint of the season, so a lot to talk about, and we're going to start things off with the Chicago Blackhawks. This team is now 20-0-3 on the year. They have 3 shootout losses, and that is it. 43 points so far for the Chicago Blackhawks. They are just dominating every single team they've come across so far this season. But with the 48-game season, we're 24 games in. We're just going to go over for the standings and a couple stats just to get you guys caught up if you've missed anything so far this year. We're going to start in the West with Chicago. They're on top of the Western Conference with 43 points. Anaheim with 33 points is in second. They're atop their division. And then Vancouver with 26 points is in the lead in their respective division as well. So that's the top 3. That's the division leaders for the West right now. Rounding out the top 5, you have Detroit and Phoenix with the 4th and 5th seeds in the West. And then you have 5 teams tied for the 6th, 7th, and 8th place. You have Los Angeles, San Jose, St. Louis, who would be the teams that got in today because of tiebreakers. But then Dallas and Minnesota in the 9th and 10th positions, also tied at 24 points apiece. Of course, only 8 teams from each conference make the playoffs. So it would be San Jose, Los Angeles, and St. Louis at the moment. Rounding out the West, you have Nashville, Edmonton, Calgary, Colorado, and then Columbus, who is the bottom dweller in the entire NHL with only 18 points and 7 wins on the season. The interesting news coming out of Columbus is that the Pittsburgh Penguins are interested in making a trade. The name being thrown around is Jack Johnson. 2 scouts as their senior advisor, their GM, and their assistant GM were all in Pittsburgh last night to watch the game with Pittsburgh Penguins general manager Ray Shero. So moving on to the East, the Montreal Canadiens sit atop the Eastern Conference with 32 points and 14 wins. The Pittsburgh Penguins in second place, they have 15 wins, but only 30 points. They have no overtime losses, which Montreal has 4. So the Penguins have 30 points. They're sitting in second place. Then the Carolina Hurricanes, their division leader, in third place with 27 points. And that team has come on strong as of late. They have 3 players right now who are playing out of this world. That's Eric Stahl, Alexander Semin, who is an offseason pickup, and Yuri Tlusty, who has 11 goals. And all 3 of those players tied for second in the NHL in plus-minus with a plus 15. Rounding out the top 8 in the Eastern Conference, you have Boston, Toronto, Ottawa, New Jersey, and the New York Rangers. So 3 Atlantic teams in the playoff race as of now. The Flyers just out of the top 8 spot with 23 points. They sit in 9th, followed by the Islanders, the Winnipeg Jets, the Tampa Bay Lightning, Buffalo, the Washington Capitals, and the Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers, rounding out, only have 7 wins as well in the season. And they took some bad news today as well with Stephen Weiss, their captain and one of their top offensive threats, will be out for the remainder of the season after having surgery on his wrist to repair an injury there. So one of their big scorers, Stephen Weiss, and their captain, done for the year. A bright spot coming out of Florida is definitely Jonathan Huberdeau, who leads all NHL rookies in scoring. The kid's playing fantastic. He has 11 goals. He had another penalty shot goal tonight. That's his 2nd penalty shot goal of the season. He's playing on a whole different level from all of the rookies right now in the NHL. Even Nail Yakupov, who was my pick as the rookie of the year at the beginning of the season. Huberdeau is playing like a crafty veteran right now, and it's showing. A big matchup looking forward to this week in the NHL. Thursday night, the best rivalry in all of the NHL. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased to one of the teams. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers will play again Thursday night. This will be their 3rd meeting of the season. Of course, the Pittsburgh Penguins took the first meeting on opening day back on January 19th. That was a 3-1 win with Marc-Andre Fleury getting the win and Ilya Bryzgalov getting the loss there. And then last week, Thomas Vokoun got the start in net for Pittsburgh. Bryzgalov was in net as well for the Flyers, but it was a 6-5 victory in favor of the Philadelphia Flyers, as Thomas Vokoun gave up 6 goals, 3 of those coming from the stick of Jakub Voracek, who got his hat trick. The last one coming with under a minute left as the game was tied 5-5. The Penguins losing that one. Vokoun has struggled in his last 4 starts, so you can bet that he will not be starting this week as Marc-Andre Fleury will be in net Thursday night against the Philadelphia Flyers. And it's definitely always a great game to watch anytime they take the ice. You're always going to have a fight, some big hits, some offensive threats. You have Giroux, Crosby, Malkin's back in the lineup. You have Jakub Voracek, who is NHL.com's February Player of the Month. Scott Hartnell's back in the lineup. So, I mean, these two teams pack a whole lot of punch on the offensive and defensive sides, and it's an entertaining matchup anytime they play. So that'll be this Thursday. Make sure you check that out. But moving on to some of the stats, your mid-season leaders. If the season were to end today, your NHL points leader would be Sidney Crosby. He has 36 points on the year, followed closely by Steven Stamkos, who has 34. And then tied for third, this is the surprise, Chris Kunitz, having 28 points, is tied for third place with Martin St. Louis. Chris Kunitz, who is Crosby's line mate, has taken the advantage of playing with one of the best players in the world. And he has 28 points on the board. He's also a plus 17, which leads the NHL. He is playing just on a whole different level right now from where he's been the past couple of years. He had good communication and good chemistry with Malkin and Neal last season, but he is just taking it to a whole different level with Sidney Crosby as his center. And that just goes to show that Sidney Crosby doesn't make anybody he plays with a whole lot better. So Chris Kunitz and Martin St. Louis tied with 28 points, and Thomas Vanek rounding out the top 5 with 27. The goal scoring, you have Steven Stamkos on top there with 17 goals. Followed with 14 is James Neal and Jeff Carter. John Tavares has 13 goals for the Islanders, and then Chris Kunitz in the top 5 here again as well with 12 goals on the season. So Chris Kunitz in the top 5 of 3 major categories on the season. He has 16 assists, but then he is the leader in the plus-minus with 17. And then you have Yuri Tlusty, Eric Stahl, Alexander Semin, all tied at plus 15, rounding out the tops there in the NHL. Moving on to goalies, you have Corey Crawford, who's on top of the league in goals against average with 1.41. Craig Anderson, Antti Niemi, Tuukka Rask also in there in goals against average. And then save percentage, Craig Anderson on top, followed by Corey Crawford, Antti Niemi, Kari Lehtinen, who missed a significant amount of time for the Dallas Stars, and Tuukka Rask rounding out the top 5 in goals against. And then when it comes to wins, you have 4 goalies tied at the top of the league with 11 wins. That would be Ilya Bryzgalov, who has 11 wins and 22 starts. Marc-Andre Fleury of the Pittsburgh Penguins. You have Carey Price of the Montreal Canadiens, and Tuukka Rask of the Boston Bruins. Followed closely with 10 wins on the season is Corey Crawford of the Chicago Blackhawks. So those are your league leaders in wins at the moment. Marc-Andre Fleury will be looking to take control of that as he goes for his 12th win Thursday night against the Philadelphia Flyers. So if you're a Flyers fan, a Penguins fan, or you're just a hockey fan, you're going to want to watch that game because it will be exciting one way or the other. But yeah, so mid-season right now in the NHL, got a lot of hockey left to play. My 2 teams that I picked from the beginning of the season to make to the Stanley Cup are playing extremely well. That is Chicago and Pittsburgh. That was my pick on my written blog. So yeah, both of those teams doing extremely well right now. But a lot of exciting things left to happen. A lot of good races. I mean, the Philadelphia Flyers and the New York Islanders are knocking on the Eastern Conference playoff door. They are they're 5 teams within 2 points of the Atlantic Division right now, playing extremely well. So definitely going to want to watch the rest of the season, how it unfolds, and get into the playoffs with our shortened season, only 48 games. I'm excited. We're halfway through, and I'm interested to see exactly how the rest of this season is going to play out. But thanks for tuning in. This was my NHL blog. I got some interesting stuff in store for tomorrow. If you're a TV person and you like watching some TV, tomorrow I'm going to cover some shows that I really enjoy. I'm going to pass that knowledge on to you. Anything you're interested in watching, I'm going to be talking The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy, and The Community, which has become one of my new favorite shows. So I'm going to have 9 or 10 shows I'm going to talk about tomorrow. So you're going to want to make sure to check that out. Also, I'm going to post my Twitter link in the information below. Make sure to follow me on Twitter if you do tweet. I have some interesting stuff to say sometimes. A lot of sports tweets, a lot of music tweets. So if you're interested, follow me on there. Also, I would appreciate if any of you guys that are out there listening, you have critique, you have ideas for me, you like stuff that I'm doing, you don't like stuff that I'm doing, make sure you inform me. There's comment sections below. You can leave whatever you want there. I'm an open-minded person, so anything would help. And also, if you want, I would appreciate it if you would tell your friends. If you're watching and you enjoy what you're seeing, pass it along. Tweet my videos or tell your friends where to check me out. So anyway, my Twitter account is @itsatrap1990. That is also my Xbox Live gamer tag. So if you're on Xbox Live and you want to play a little bit, @itsatrap1990 is my Xbox Live gamer tag as well. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to try to do a blog every day, like I said. I'm going to try and do it from a different location every day. So make sure you check it out. I'm also in the process of looking for a camera right now. So if anybody knows anything about video cameras, I'm looking for a good, small, reasonably priced HD camera that's easy to conceal, easy to take with me wherever I go. So if you have any knowledge of that, make sure you hit me up. But anyways, guys, thanks for listening. This has been my NHL blog. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for my TV show talk. And then also, we did record the Steelers blog yesterday with Dave, but the audio got all messed up, and we're going to have to re-record that one. So that'll be brought to you later this week. But guys, thanks for listening. Sorry for wasting so much of your time here at the end, just kind of going over some ground rules here with my stuff. But thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.